Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Mwah. By the way, it's Jeff's 15th birthday today. I want to give him a shout out. I saw. I'll only give him a shout out if he scores. I only give shout outs for goals. Where's your jersey? Gabby, your phone. My bad. Your boyfriend's mom just fired you. Your boyfriend's mom just fired you. Girlfriends who's way too fangirling. But then again, it is the first round of playoffs. So, Gabby, you left off. It's a black, but it's number 15 because I was number 15 in U15s, and then it has keys on the back of it too. So, because at her senior night, she wore my number. She had number 26, and I was like, "This is freaking awesome!" So, take that. Did you think I like both the jerseys that like the monster and the really high, like 30 numbers. Yeah. Well, Nolan's number 36, and that was his high school number. Where did you find this? Put it on. He's like, what if I don't want it? Where did you pull this from? Where did you pull this from? That jersey looks actually kind of nasty. It's like rough white. It's ivory. Okay. That jersey looks really fun. I really enjoy that you put it on today, and I'm really happy you're here, Gabby. I appreciate you. I don't know. Now that warm-ups are over, let's have some fun, shall we? Elk River versus Shakopee in the very first round of playoffs. We're at Maple Grove Community Center. Really fun place to be. I'm with my co-host, Gabby. Say hi, Gabby. Hi. There we go. And a quick shout out. It is Jack Riley's birthday. How great is that? It's the big 1-8. Dude's a legal adult. He can go gamble away all of his money if he wants. We don't know if that's a wise decision, but he could do it if he wanted to. Oh, Gabby says he's got no money. So, never mind. But at least he's a legal adult. Gabby's already a legal adult, so she's like been there, done that. As of a week ago. Of course. It's really quiet. I should probably be quiet with everybody. I need a sound of freshness. Yes.
Go boy!
Alright, friends. It's time to get started. We'll start with Bratzel taking the face off. Bratzel wins it over to the far board. Hughes comes up, is able to win it forward for Westgard. Bratzel will take advantage, walk into the zone, quick shot. It'll be deflected into the far corner. Westgard there on the far board. Shakopee will put it up. Hughes will hold the zone, quick shot. Blocker saved by the Sabres goalie. White tries to go up for Hughes, comes out of the zone. Hughes will put it back for Bratzel, and Bratzel will put it down deep into the Sabre zone. Westgard chasing from behind. Sabres walk it down deep into the Elks zone, back behind the net. Bassett there. Rotz picks it up in the near, tries to pick it up in the near corner, ends up going to Shakopee. Shakopee in the corner, up to the point. Comes back down to the far board. Bassett will pick it up and put it off the boards, and Shakopee will put it back down deep in the Elk zone. Bassett up to Trzynski. Trzynski up to Halverson. Gets intercepted in a little back and forth, and it'll end up being blocked by Riley and put into the Sabre zone. They'll come out with it with a 2-on-3. Backhand to the middle. Bassett will pick it up. It'll go to Skyberg. Skyberg tries to come up for Riley. It'll go down into the Sabre zone. Sabres off the near board to Skyberg. Skyberg will put it down deep. Elks are offsides, have to regroup, and the Sabres will come out of the zone with it through neutral and down, put it down deep in the Elk zone. Thomas will pick it up to Stoltz. Stoltz tries to get it up for Alcott, but Stoltz will push it out of the zone. And Thomas will block it from going back down deep, and Stoltz will throw it all the way into the Sabre zone. Puck in the near corner. Stoltz will grab it, put it up for Skyberg. Skyberg, quick shot. Out in front of the net. Nobody could capitalize on it, and Skyberg tries to hold the zone. We'll put it in. Second try. Helm chasing into the corner. Gets a piece of it. Comes back for Stoltz. Stoltz out for Bratzel, and Bratzel scores! That's Bratzel with the goal from Stoltz behind the net. Starts when Helm poked it away, and then Stoltz picked it up and a beautiful feed right to Bratzel to put it up high into the net, and the Elks now lead 1-0. Rotz will pick it up. Back for Thomas. Thomas up for Westgard. Westgard gives it to Bratzel. Bratzel across for White, right in front of the net, and a cover by the Sabres goalie. Bratzel taking the face-off in the far corner. Comes over for White. It'll come. Thomas will hold the zone. It'll sit right at the blue line. Bratzel will pick it up, tries to put it through for Westgard. Not there. White will walk through. Try to push it back up to Bratzel. Gets intercepted, and the Sabres will push it out of the zone and down into the Elks zone. Thomas off the boards, up for White. Not quite able to hang on to it. Elks will run into each other, and the Sabres will walk it into the Elks zone. Quick shot and stick save by Sherritt. Wonderful. All right. Face-off will be down in the Elks zone on the far board. And Halverson will take the face-off. Puts it up for Chuzinski. It'll come over to Riley. Riley tries to push it back up for Chuzinski, but it'll come back the other way. Hughes will backhand it up the boards, giving it right to the Sabres, and they are offside trying to enter the Elks zone. And the face-off will come to the near board, just in front of the camera. Halverson will take the face-off, wins it over for Chuzinski. Chuzinski back to Bankston, over to Hughes. Hughes up to Chuzinski. Can't quite hang on to it, and Halverson will put it down deep. Riley on the near board for Hughes. Hughes will dump it back down all the way around the net to the far corner for Halverson. Halverson and Chuzinski battling for the puck. It'll come through. Chuzinski will try to push it down behind the net. Riley gives chase. It'll come up the boards to Hughes. Hughes will walk in with a quick shot. Gets deflected to the board. Hughes will pick it up at center ice and put it back down deep into the Sabre zone. Up for Chuzinski. Chuzinski kind of goes over to Halverson, and it'll bank off of Bankston and it'll come back into the center for Hughes. Hughes off the board. Halverson puts it off, and it'll go down deep. Icing is called off. Stoltz just outside the zone, back for Hughes. Hughes will put it down deep into the Sabre zone. Stoltz in the corner, centers it out front, no one there. Comes back into the near corner. Bassett will put it back in the zone, and they'll throw it all the way down into the Elks zone for icing. And the puck will come back to the Sabre zone on the far side. Alcott taking the face off on the near board. Comes back, and Sabres will walk out of the zone with it into neutral and into the Elks zone. Quick shot. Pad save by Sherritt. It'll go back behind the net. Helm will contend on the near board. It'll come out to center. Alcott will pick it up with speed and walk it into the Sabre zone. It'll go into the far corner, and it'll come up the boards for Skyberg. Skyberg will hold the zone. It'll center out front. Nobody there. It'll come up high off the glass just on the blue line in front of the Elks zone. Helm will put it across for Stoltz, and Stoltz will fire it, and it won't go deep. And the Sabres will come back the other way. Skyberg with it in the far corner. Will put it all the way up for White. White up for Bratzel. Bratzel for White. White tries to center, it gets blocked, and it'll go to the far boards. Thomas will intercept the pass in neutral. Sabres will pick up speed, try to go through neutral, gets knocked away by White, and put all the way down deep into the Elks zone. Bratzel back to pick it up into the corner. White tries to go up. Sabres will hold the zone. It'll go to the far board. Westgard takes a chop at it, but it'll end up deep in the Elks zone. Sabres working out front of the net. White will get a hold of it, and that can't quite get it out of the zone, and the Sabres will come back down deep with it. Bratzel tries to whack it up for White. White will whack it out of the zone, and it'll go back down deep into the Elk zone. Rotz on the near board, contending. Sabres going back and forth on the boards. Halverson with a good stick play, and it'll come all the way out of the Elk zone and go down into the Sabre zone. No icing. Riley there to defend. It'll come out of the zone into neutral, and a 2-on-1. And they miss the pass, and it'll go into the corner. Halverson up for Riley. Riley will get it down deep into the Sabre zone, picks it up, puts it out front for Halverson. Halverson just misses wide. Puts it out for Skyberg. Skyberg with a shot. It'll get deflected in the corner. Quick shot by Riley will go back behind the net. The Sabres will try to put it up the near board, and Hughes will hold. And will try to give it across for Trzynski, but it'll be deflected high. The Sabres try to get back control, but Riley able to takes quick backhand, gets deflected into the corner. Halverson on the boards with Trzynski. Riley, right for Trzynski. Trzynski with 2 shots, and first the goalie makes the first save, but misses wide the second time. Skyberg goes down deep behind the net. It'll come up the near board. Trzynski battling. It'll go back down to the corner. Sabres will get control and flick it all the way off the boards down into the Elk zone. Hughes will get control and flick it all the way up for Trzynski. Trzynski has time. Quick shot. And it'll go off the netting, and will bring the face-off down on the near board in the Sabre zone. Alcott taking the face-off on the near board. Over for Helm. Helm up to Bassett. Bassett tries to put it back down. Sabres will intercept and bring it out of the zone. Walk into the Elks zone. Stop on the near board. Centers, nobody quite there. Working the far board. Quick shot. Great save by Sherritt. The ref blocks the attempt to clear it into the corner, and it'll come back out into neutral and down into the Sabre zone. Back out in neutral. The Sabres will put it down deep in the Elk zone. Bassett to pick it up behind the net. Alcott and Bassett working. Bassett comes up the near boards for Helm. Helm across tries to get it to Stoltz. Just too far ahead of him. Stoltz will backhand it across the rink, and Alcott will pick it up and come back behind the Elks net. We'll put it up the boards for Stoltz. Stoltz turned around and fired into blank ice, and it'll come back out into neutral. Sabres will pick it up and walk in. Can't quite hang on to it, and it'll go back into the corner. Backhanded on net, and Sherritt will get a cover. Bratzel took the face off. Comes up for Westgard. Westgard over to White. White up for Bratzel. Tries to get another touch on it, but will be covered by the Sabres goalie. Bratzel will take the face off on the near board. Comes back for White. White for Hughes. Hughes tries to center for White. It not quite gets blocked. And it'll come off the near board for Westgard. Westgard back for Hughes. Hughes tries to push it back up. Can't quite get all of it. And it'll come back up the near board for Bratzel. Bratzel up for Westgard. Gets a little too far in front of him. The Sabres will pick it up and go back behind their own net. It'll come up the near board. And Bratzel chasing. Westgard trying to get it out from behind the Sabres. Westgard will go back behind the net. Try to center it. White right out front, not quite, gets deflected. Will come out 2-on-2. Sabres quick shot and glove save by Sherritt. Halverson taking the face off, wins it back for Rotz. Rotz back for Skyberg. Skyberg to Rotz. Rotz behind the net, up for Trzynski. Trzynski all the way up the far board for Riley. Riley over for Halverson. Halverson shot, stick save, and goes into the netting. And the face-off will come down onto the near board in the Sabre zone. Oh, far board in the Sabre zone. My mistake. Halverson taking the face-off will push it forward. Sabres will pick it up behind their net, put it off the glass into neutral. They'll walk it into the Elks zone. Quick shot. Sherritt will push it into the corner. It'll come up. Riley one swing and miss, but it'll get out into neutral. Trzynski will get it in the Sabre zone back for Halverson. Halverson will shoot way over the net. And White is put, or nope, that's Rotz. Sorry, they look the same from the front. Trzynski walking around the zone. It'll come out. The 3-on-3. Quick stick and glove save by Sherritt. I don't know what happened in the offensive zone there. I just saw Rotz got put down, and then people started doing things that I was not paying attention to. So my attention span is low today. Teddy, Alcott taking the face off, push forward, Helm on the near board. It'll get rung all the way around to the far side. Hughes on the board, up for Stoltz. Stoltz tries to center, not there. Sabres will pick it up and put it back into the Elks zone. Hughes with it behind the net. Can't quite get control of it in the corner. Alcott back to help. Hughes up the boards to Stoltz. Stoltz up for Helm. Helm backhands it to the side. Was trying for Hughes, but wasn't there. Shakopee Sabres will throw it up all the way down into the Elks zone. Tries to center it out front. A good block by Sherritt. Bassett in the corner. Helm will try to center it out front. Nobody there. Hughes is able to put it out into neutral, and Stoltz can throw it back in their zone, but not quite deep enough. Rotz will get control, push it through neutral, and can't get it into the Sabres zone. The Sabres will come back the other way. Rotz in the corner. It'll come up for Westgard. Westgard can't quite get a handle, and it'll come back out in neutral and then back down deep into the Elk zone. Thomas up the boards for White. Sabres will get control and try a tip, but Rotz good defending there. Westgard over for Rotz behind the net. Rotz up for White. White can't quite hold on to the pass, and it'll be sent back down deep. Rotz blocks the shot, and Westgard will put it out into neutral for Bratzel, but it gets put back down, and Rotz will start skating it through neutral and into the Shakopee zone. Gets a handle on it, falling well, makes a shot, almost goes 5-hole, but gets pushed into the corner, and the Sabres will come back out into neutral and go the other way. Big hit by Trzynski, and Thomas will pick it up and go up to White. White up for Bratzel. Bratzel tries to backhand over for Trzynski, gets intercepted. Riley will pick it up coming off the bench, and Trzynski pushes it back down deep into the Sabre zone. Took a try or two. Halverson trying to battle in the board. Riley will get it from the right up front. Riley with it in the corner, tries to give it to Halverson, but gets thrown all the way down the ice by the Sabres for icing, and 8 seconds left in the period. For half of these situations, I have no idea what to say. I'm just like blah, 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 blah. Things are happening. Things are happening. Halverson's taking the face off. And it comes over for Riley. Riley back for Bassett. Bassett with a shot goes wide. Skyberg holds the zone. And they'll throw it all the way down. And that's the end of the period. Elks lead the Shakopee Sabres 1-0 after the first period, with many missed shot attempts. Yeah, so just enjoy quiet for a while. I'm parched, so I'll be back later. Hey, Ashton commented.
Ashton what?
Commented he was looking for the score.
Oh,
Don't worry, I said it. He knows now.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, he's on his way up to Detroit Lakes.
Oh, cool.
His team is playing tonight at 6.
Wow.
Well, he better win. Yeah. You can hear it. Oh, time on? Oh, okay.
The speaker. Good luck, Ashton. You got this.
Yep. If you're listening, Ashton, you better do well. You better start getting zoned in.
Otherwise,
Locked in.
otherwise you're grounded.
He's never been grounded in his life.
No, probably not. People
Well,
know.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Otherwise, you'll be grounded for the first time in your life, and it'll probably look no different than your regular life.
Yeah, right.
All right, start of the second period here. Bratzel will take the face off. It'll be pushed through. Sabres defense will get control and go D to D. It'll come up the near board. Skyberg can't quite get a control of it, and it'll stay on the near board. Westgard will pick it up, give it up for Bratzel. Nobody can quite get a handle on it. Skyberg will backhand it back, and Sabres will get back control in their own zone and push it up. Gets quick whiff of a shot by the Sabres, and it'll go under the near board. Bratzel will throw it up for White. White able to push it through. Has a 1-on-2. Will push it down for Bratzel, or for Westgard. And Westgard battling in the corner with Bratzel. It gets pushed up the near board. Skyberg with a quick shot gets blocked, and Sabres will come back the other way 2-on-2. Bassett defending in the corner. gets centered. Oh, not quite able to get a handle on it by the Sabres. And Westgard will try to throw it across. Gets blocked. Bratzel will pick it up, and it'll come out to White. White will put it deep in the Shakopee zone. The Sabres push it all the way front. Intercepted by Riley. Riley back up for Halverson. Halverson with a shot. Gets pushed down back into the corner. Sabres will come back the other way. 2-on-3. Halverson fetching it in the corner, up for Thomas. Thomas all the way across, tries to give it to Trzynski, but will come all the way down into the Sabres zone. Trzynski behind the net, battling. The Sabres will push it up the boards, and Rotz was able to keep the zone, but the Sabres will walk out with it. Quick shot and chest save by Sherritt. And the face-off will come to the far board in the Elks zone. Alcott taking the face-off. Comes back for Helm. Helm off the boards. Gets held in by the Sabres. Helm trying to push it through. Comes out of the zone and back in, and then gets called offside. And the face-off will come just in front of the Shakopee bench. Alcott takes the face-off. Sabres will win it through. Block shot by Rotz. Ooh, almost a weird situation by Thomas. Tries to put it back behind the net. Gets it on the second try to Rotz. Rotz up to Stoltz. Stoltz will start skating with speed. Enters the Sabre zone, able to put it down deep in the corner. Stoltz and Alcott fighting for the puck. Sabres will come off the far board and will go 2-on-2, dump it down deep into the Elks zone. Thomas there first, able to turn it. It'll come over to the near boards for Rotz. Rotz will put it off the boards, and Alcott will push it through. 2-on-1. Alcott over to Helm. Helm can't quite hang on to the pass, and it'll go into the corner. Helm and Alcott fighting in the corner. Helm puts it down for Alcott. Alcott back up to Helm. Helm down to Alcott. Alcott spinning in the corner. Gives it up for Hughes. Hughes with a shot. Pushed out by the Sabres goalie. It'll be up. Rotz with a quick shot. Glove save by the Sabres goalie. So that was a lot of Alcott to Helm. Tongue twister. Now I can't speak. Thank you so much, Alcott and Helm. That's your fault. Bratzel taking the face off in the Shakopee zone. Wins it back for Hughes. Hughes tries to give it for Westgard. It gets put down into the opposite corner. The Sabres will walk out of the zone. Hughes didn't quite follow through with his guy. Quick, good glove save by Sherritt, and it'll be put in the corner. Bratzel will push it back behind the net for Skyberg. Skyberg back the other way for Hughes. Hughes off the boards, and it'll go all the way down for icing into the Shakopee zone. And the face-off will come back into the Elks zone on the far board. Halverson taking the face-off, wins it to the sideboard for Skyberg. Skyberg tries to push it up, shoves it up for Halverson. Halverson tries to go off the glass, but it goes into the Shakopee bench, and the face-off will go back down deep into the Elks zone. Halverson takes the face-off. Skyberg will pick it up, go behind the net. Escape back the other way. Will come way off the board for Trzynski. Trzynski clear, quick shot, misses wide. And Skyberg was super close to holding the zone, but is called offside. A great pass off the boards for Trusinski. Trusinski with a quick shot that misses wide. And we'll come back to face-off just outside the Sabre zone. Halverson will take the face-off, push it into the zone. Quick shot, misses just wide, and the Sabres will pick it up and start coming outside the zone. Riley intercepts, quick shot, misses wide. It'll come up the near board, and Trusinski will put it back down deep. It'll ring around the net, up for Skyberg. Skyberg will push it back down, and it'll go back into the corner. It'll come up the near board all the way across. Halverson gets it, and it'll go across after deflected up high. And the Sabres will put it all the way down deep into the Elks zone. Skyberg loses an edge on his transition, and it'll be icing. And we'll go back down into the Sabre zone for the face-off. Stoltz took the face-off, got rung around the boards, and Helm will keep Bassett kept it in, and Helm put it back down deep. Alcott just to the side of the net will tries to center it out for Bassett, will come out of the zone. Bassett tries to come back up the far board, will get it up, and the Sabres will go D to D and off the board. Rotz up to Helm. Helm back for Stoltz. Stoltz tries to backhand it through. Can't quite reach the player, and the Sabres will come up the near board. They'll throw it up high, and it'll make it down into the Elks zone. Stoltz centers it out front for Helm. Helm starts skating through neutral and gets taken down. Alcott, quick shot, save by the Sabres goalie. Thomas will keep it in, put it back in the corner. Sabres will put it off the glass and all the way down to the Elks zone on net, so no icing. It'll be up for Hughes. Hughes will skate with it. Beats the first player. Coming around the second player. Stetters it up front and a goal! Hughes will skate it all the way down and leave it up for White. And White, or no, it was Grotzel. Grotzel will bang it home. Oh, White was blocking him. I'm sorry. Great run up by Hughes, and then Grotzel will bang it home. Elks are up 2-0. And the Sabres will get control back in their zone. Will push it off the boards in neutral. Thomas will put it back off the near boards. Can't quite clear. And it'll go down and deep into the corner. Hughes gets control of it in the corner. Will start walking out of the zone through neutral and tries to get it down deep. And the Sabres will throw it down deep, get a touch on it, and it'll go down deep into the Elks zone. Thomas, defending on the far board, tries to backhand it up for Riley, but Trusinski will get it out, and the Sabres will throw it back down. Sherritt will ultimately end up with it in his blocker and for a whistle. And we'll come back with the face-off on the near board in the Elks zone. Halverson taking the face-off. Neutralizes, and it exchanging hands in the corner. Skyberg picks it up behind the net. Comes up for Halverson, gets deflected to Sabres. They'll take a shot, and it'll go wide. Skyberg will start skating. Tries to come through neutral. Gets stripped of the puck. And it'll try to come back the other way. Skyberg will regain control. Put it up for Truzinski. It'll get backhanded the other way. Rotz with it. Gets intercepted. Rotz will get it back and throw it up the far board. The Sabres will push it through and put it down deep into the Elks zone. Skyberg will pick it up. Put it back behind the net. Tries to get it for Rotz, but Sabres will be there first. Truzinski gets pushed from behind. And quick shot by the Sabres and quick glove save by Sherritt. Uh, 6:27 left in the second period. Elks are up 2-0. And Stoltz will come in and take the face-off. We'll come back. Hughes will win it, put it off the glass. Tries to go up for Alcott, but it's not quite there. She'll try to center it out front. And a little scramble, and Sherritt will get it covered. And the face-off will go to the other side in the Elks zone. Alcott taking the face-off. It'll be pushed all the way through and out into neutral. And the Sabres player will throw it in the Elks bench. And so the face-off will go down deep into the Sabres zone on the far board. Alcott taking the face-off. Tries to push it through. Sabres will get a handle on it, put it off the boards. Bassett will hold the zone. Alcott skating around up top. Quick shot. Yeah, rebound. And Stoltz will put it over for Helm. And Helm will put it in the net. Helm will make the score 3-0 Elks. What a nice play. Alcott walks up top. Good shot, rebound, and stop. Stoltz will put it over for Helm, and Helm will put it home. So the Elks are now up 3-0 with about 6 minutes left in the period. Bratzel taking the face off. It gets pushed through. Sabres will take control and put it off the boards, and it'll go down deep into the Elks zone. Bassett will pick it up behind the Elks net, push it up for White. White tries to put it off the boards, but nobody's there. A quick shot by the Sabres, and Sherritt will push it into the corner. White tries to put it off the boards. White tries to put it off the boards, and it'll go into the Sabres bench. And the face-off will go to the far side. At him. Bratzel will win the face-off into the corner, and Bassett tried to put it up, but it gets put back down deep to the other side. Hughes chasing into the corner. It'll push into the corner for Westgard. Westgard up for Bratzel. Bratzel up to White. White goes offside as he loses control right as he tries to pass the blue line. Big stick slam, and now White's mom is not very happy with that, because if he breaks the stick, we know who's paying for it. Bratzel pushes the face-off through. Westgard tries to put it down deep, gets intercepted by the Sabres, and they'll pass all the way up to the near boards. Thomas will push it through for Westgard. Westgard beats his first player, walks it into the Sabres zone, tries, shoots it at White across the ice, and it'll go into the corner. White tries to leave it back. Sabres will gain control and start skating out of the zone. 3-on-2. Quick shot by the Sabres. Chest save by Sherritt, and it'll go. Thomas will try to bring it all the way around. It'll be put back down into the corner. Rotz contending in the corner. Bratzel tries to flip it up and out. Sabres will keep it in. Rotz back behind the net. Starts skating, tries to push it up for White. White backhand off the boards for Bratzel. Bratzel off the far board. Will try to move through, and a good glove save by the Sabres goalie. Bratzel almost whacking it in. Halverson taking the face off. Wins it back for Trzynski. Trzynski to Hughes. Hughes lobs a shot on net. It goes a little bit wide. Trzynski tries to center out front. Sabres will get control. It'll come out into neutral. And a penalty on the Elks will put the Elks on the penalty kill. Trzynski will go to the box. And the Elks will now be in a 4-on-5 situation because of, I don't know what he was called for. Tripping? Okay. Oh, well. Have fun. Halverson took the face off. Sabres will gain control, work it up top. Quick shot, blocker saved by Sherritt. Halverson will get there first. It'll come out of the zone, and Hughes will push it all the way down, and the Sabres will have to go all the way back and regroup. It'll bank off of the near board, and Halverson will go in to defend. Halverson catches him, and Skyberg will slap shot it, tries to slap shot it down, but will go into the Sabres bench and will push the face off back down into the Elk zone. How many times are they going to throw it into benches today? It's been like 5. The red pad? Colors are tricky. Stoltz took the face off, and Skyberg will start walking through neutral, put it down deep into the Sabres zone. Skyberg almost the first one there, but Sabres will gain back control. Stoltz there to defend. Alcott on his other side. And it'll go off the boards. Stoltz will Hughes tried to throw it back down deep, but then slap-shotted it into the Elks bench. So now we'll put it all the way back down. Or not all the way back down, I guess right outside the Elks zone. Great job, Zach. Stoltz will take the face off. It'll neutralize, and Sabres will come away with it. They'll put it back down deep into the corner. Hughes there, puts it up the near side. Alcott trying to defend on the corner. Makes room, puts it out for Stoltz. Stoltz trying to put it down deep. Gets it down deep. 30 seconds left in the penalty kill. Stoltz defending down low. Sabres having to regroup. Starts walking out of the zone. Alcott trying to defend. Bassett will throw it all the way out. Sabres not able to hold the zone. And it'll come out into neutral. Alcott defending. Hughes will get a hold of it. Throw it off the glass. And up for Westgard. Westgard will try to get it down deep. And the Sabres will throw it all the way back up. Hughes will get it off. Put it into neutral. Bratzel, 3-on-2. Over to White. White tries to get it back to Bratzel. Gets blocked. And White tries to come back for Westgard. Bassett holds the zone. White on the far boards. And the Sabres will bring it all the way around. Rotz will hold the zone. Bratzel tries to back him up, but the Sabres will come out with it, and Bratzel will flick it back up high and down deep in the Sabre zone. White back to Bratzel. Bratzel tries to center it. Skyberg will get a hold, a shoot, and it's blocked. They'll come back 2-1 the other way. Skyberg getting back. Quick shot, pad save by Sherritt. Westgard tries to throw it up for Bratzel. Not there. Quick shot, just wide. Bratzel tries to get out of the zone, puts it off the far board for White. White puts it down deep, and it'll go in for a cover for the Sabres goalie. The face-off will go down into the Sabres zone on the far board. 30 seconds left in the period. Halverson will take the face-off. Neutralizes. Stuck in skates. Riley will grab it, tries to put it out front. Quick shot by Trzynski. The Sabres goalie definitely didn't see it, but it was able to get a handle on it, and quick pad save. Pad/blocker. And Halverson will come back to the face-off. Puts it off the far board. And the Sabres will throw it up high. Hughes Skyberg will retrieve, and it off the boards for Halverson. Halverson will try to walk down. Will get an elbow. And this second period is over. And we'll go for a resurface. So the Elks will lead 3-0 after the second period, and we'll come back when the Zamboni is done. But feel free to watch the Zamboni. It's mesmerizing. Said happy birthday to Marcus?
Yeah.
Did Borg?
Huh?
Did you ask him happy birthday?
I'm sure he did.
Like, I text Q's going on now.
It's good.
We went past you the other day. Directly past you.
Like I was driving to work.
No, I mean we passed where you were.
Oh, kind of. Yeah.
The exit.
Yeah. I mean, I get off. Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we exactly what we had to have the other
I almost got hit by a car. No, driving. There was a guy driving on the wrong side of the road. I had to. No lie. No lie. Yeah. What? Yeah, I gotta. I'll be back.
Freaking circle in the middle of my tongue. What's the other way? Force Lake? Jeez. Maybe Force Lake 63 and then no, the first one what? Oh, that's great. First time I saw you. I know, I'm sorry. But for me, going back throughout, since like fifth grade, I would have never known to actually do it. So I both thought you were a legend. And then he goes, oh, this Jack's girlfriend. I was like, oh, what? Stop. And I laughed at myself. I was like, no, that's a person who thought that was funny. To be fair, a lot of people are like, they see me walking around and they're like, oh, I think that's actually very good friends. That's your brother. And I'm like, a lot of people have never seen my brother. And so they just assume like, it's him. And I'm like, no, sir. I'm like, what? Me and Zach walk to school every day. So like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to mistake for anybody else. Feet and walk. Skip the back of pick up your feet and walk like you normally do. Yeah, I was talking about the girl. She was like dragging her heel. Girl, if you you have seven, but they all kind of suck, except for one, and she's always and she's so nobody likes her. Honestly, people, a lot of us think that she joined wrestling because of but yeah, she doesn't have a very good reputation. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I don't care because she's like I said, she's always so yeah, the one from Zero, she's like she's skinny, but she so Jack wanted to casino tonight. And tomorrow. I don't know. They play at 10 on Sunday during the championship. Yeah, if they win the game tomorrow and then the championship, then they play on Sunday. And then they have to win tomorrow. The first game, and they used to go. I don't want to play 2 games.
Guys are doing a fine job. Did she really play by play?
Oh, no, it's just
Help her do it. What do you think they call her Debbie for?
I have her add comments here.
Oh, good.
For her 1 minute Well, at least we're only at another. Stay down there. Screwjack, you're coming with me. I said, Screwjack, I'm more interested. Yeah, I'm on that new road. I think they move 11, like, go to the left. It's crazy. They add tax to a thing that you have to buy.
They didn't. Use common sense. It's the exact same.
That's unfortunate. All right, welcome back to the third period, friends. This is the third of period 3 of 3. Here we go. Elks lead 3-0. And we'll start with Halverson taking the face off. Wins it back to Hughes. Hughes over for Rotz. Rotz starts skating. Loses the puck for a moment. Will push it down into the Sabre zone. Sabres will throw it all the way through neutral. Hughes will kick it away. Rotz able to get it out of the zone. Starts skating up. Comes back for Truzinski. Truzinski will try to pull through. And the Sabres will push through. Hughes back in the Elks zone will bring it up for Truzinski. Truzinski tries to push over for Halverson, but Rotz will push it up for Riley. Gets blocked. Riley off the far board, and Halverson will put it down deep in the Sabre zone. Sabres behind the net. Truzinski intercepts and gets called for hooking. Truzinski strips the guy of the puck and then gets called for hooking. Absolute booty. And the face-off will come down into the Elks zone on the near board. Halverson takes the face-off. Bassett will throw it up the near boards and it'll go all the way down into the Sabre zone. Sabres have to pick it up behind the net. Picking up speed, they'll come through neutral, walk it into the Elk zone. Bassett will knock it away. Halverson will get it and throw it back down deep into the Sabre zone. Sabres having to regroup. Bratzel down to defend. They'll throw it all the way up the near board. Comes in. Skyberg will push it away and put it out. And Westgard will knock it into the neutral and put it down into the Sabre zone. Westgard with a quick shot on net will go into the corner. Bratzel gets a hold of it. Comes back up for Skyberg. Skyberg will put it back down deep. Westgard in. Not quite able to get it around the Sabres, and they'll come back down the other way into the Elk zone. We'll hold on to it for a while. Quick shot gets deflected many different ways. Another quick save by Sherritt, and Skyberg will throw it all the way down deep again. 40 seconds left in the penalty kill. Sabres trying to put it down. Thomas will get a hold of it and throw it all the way back down into the Sabre zone. Their goalie will throw it up the near boards. Stoltz will intercept and put it back down behind the net. Sabres across and through neutral into the Elk zone. Quick shot gets pushed wide by Sherritt. Back into the corner. Another quick shot deflected away by Sherritt. They hold the zone, and another shot gets knocked above the net, and Sabres will regain control. Another shot gets blocked by their own player, and Rotz in Alcott gets a control and tries to pull it up for Stoltz, and it'll go all the way down for icing, and we'll come back for a face-off into the Elks zone. They have now killed off the penalty, and it's back to 5-on-5. Helverson to take the face-off. Wins it back into the corner. Rotz picks it up, goes behind the net. Comes up for Riley. Riley off the boards for Helverson. Helverson walks it into the Sabre zone. He tries to center out front for Trzynski. Wasn't quite there. Rotz can't quite hold the zone. Will come back. Put it off the boards down into the Sabre zone, and they'll come out skating. Gets through into the Elks zone, and Bankston will pick it up on the far board, try to put it off the boards. And Trzynski will put it out and tries to get it up to Halverson, and it'll go down deep into the Sabre zone. Sabres will stop behind the net and go back the other way. Hughes will hold the zone. Quick shot. Center mass save, and it'll kick back out. Pass up to neutral. And quick shot and save by Sherritt. As Halverson will come back to take the face off in the Elk zone on the near board. Halverson wins it back into the corner for Bassett. Bassett will turn and put it up the boards for Riley. Riley off the boards for Halverson. Halverson starts going through neutral. Sabres will pick it off and put it down deep into the Elk zone. Hughes will push it up the far board. Trzynski will give it up for Halverson. Halverson across to Riley. No call on that trip. Riley will try to dangle through and then falls. And then Trzynski will come back for Riley. Riley, another shot, goal! Birthday boy will score his goal after falling on his face. At first, that was quite brutal, but Riley's able to recover and roof it for his goal on his birthday. What a fun 18th birthday celebration. Don't you think, Gabby?
Yes.
Yep, Gabby is impressed by Jack's will to stand up and score after falling on his face. All right. Sabres will come back down deep into their zone and push it out into neutral. Walk it into the Elk zone. Rotz defending. Rotz will push it off the far board up to Bratzel. Bratzel tries to get up to White. White only able to get a stick on it. Sabres start walking through neutral and into the Elk zone. Rotz able to get a hold of it. Pushes it up for Bratzel. Bratzel dumps it down into the Sabre zone. And it gets thrown out into neutral. Rotzel starts skating, gives it up for Westgard. Westgard puts it down deep into the corner. Gives it up for Bratzel. Bratzel out in front of the net. White will try to shove it through. And their goalie will lay on it. And Bratzel is pushed down. And then Zamboni pushed away. I don't know why that would not be a penalty. You can't push somebody away while they're already on the ground. He slides Bratzel away. Like, you can't do that. It's like if someone drops their stick, you can't slide it away. Oh my god, you just scared me so bad, Sarah. Sarah's lingering above me like a ghost. Stoltz on the near board is able to hold the zone. It'll come back behind the net. Sabres with possession. Come off the near board. Helm battling, and Sabres will come out with it. Bankson will get a hold of it and put it back down deep. Sabres in the corner will push it all the way to the near board. It'll come out into neutral for Stoltz to pick up. Stoltz over off the board for Hughes. Hughes tries to push it up, and Alcott will get a hold of it. It'll come back into the Sabre zone, and they'll throw it back all the way up into neutral. Hughes defending, able to push it off into the corner. Comes centers out front. Bankson gets in, pushes it out into neutral. Sabres will throw it back down deep. Bankson will block it and throw it behind the net for Helm to pick up. Helm throws it off the glass. Truzinski almost free and clear. Tries to center it out front, gets blocked, and it'll go off the boards and all the way back into the Elks zone. Thomas picks it up and throws it over for Bassett. Bassett comes up the center ice, and Sabres will intercept. Halverson will get it on the far boards, gets it knocked away, and it'll be thrown back out into center for Thomas. Thomas will try to throw it back down deep, gets caught by the Sabres, and will come back down into the Elks zone. Bassett up to Riley. Riley will put it down deep into the Sabre zone. We'll bring it all the way around the boards. Bassett will hold the zone and backhand it back down deep. Halverson there to get it behind the net. Riley will pick it up in the corner. Comes up for Bassett. Riley will pick it up and throw it back down deep. Halverson behind the net. Bassett goes into the corner, and the Sabres will pick it up. Sabres will pick it up in 2-on-2. Great blocker save by Sherritt. Sabres not able to get a hold of the rebound, and it'll come back the other way. Skyberg puts it down deep and gives chase. In the corner, trying to work his way around. The Sabres will throw it back out. And, it is broken. The Sabres will put it down deep into the Elks zone. Skyberg to pick it up in the near corner, throws it up the boards for White. White not able to throw it out of the zone. It'll come up the board, and White will get it out and push it down into the Sabre zone. At the circles, the Sabres will regroup and throw it out into neutral. Skyberg will throw it back the other way. Bratzel will pick it up and we'll leave it back for White. It gets intercepted, but Westgard is able to hold the zone. Bratzel walks off the boards with it. Quick shot. Can't quite get the whole puck, and it goes wide. Another quick shot by Bratzel goes wide. Skyberg across for Rotz. Rotz off the boards, and it'll hit something and go into the Sabre zone. Sabres walking out of their zone and through neutral. Gets centered, a quick shot on net. Saved by Sherritt. Almost a bad thing there for Skyberg, but it is able to clear and get back into the Sabre zone. Quick pass across ice for the Sabres. Not quite fast enough, and they'll throw it down into the Elks zone. Hughes back behind the net. Thomas ends up picking it up. Back over for Hughes. Hughes all the way up ice for Alcott. Alcott with a breakaway. Quick and goal! Hughes with the beautiful two-line pass for Alcott to be free and clear. And Alcott will make a move and score. A beautiful pass by Hughes up to Alcott will give him the breakaway to make a move and score. It is now 5-0 Elk River. The Sabres will pick it up and put it down deep into the Elk zone. Thomas picks it up in the corner. Tries to push it through, gets blocked. Helm on the boards. gets centered out front. Thomas intercepts, and Helm makes a diving to try to get it out, but it gets pushed back down into the Elk zone. Hughes tries to throw it up the boards, gets stopped, and it'll come back into the Elk zone. Thomas picks it up, puts it up for Alcott. Alcott off the boards for Stoltz. Stoltz takes a whack at it. Alcott will pick it up, and Helm will eventually get it down deep into the Sabres zone, and they'll go for a change. Sabres coming out of their zone. Halverson will catch it on the Sabres blue line, and Truzinski tries to center it, and it goes off of like 9 people and comes back down into the Elk zone. Bassett up for Riley. Riley off the boards for Halverson, just a little too far out in front of him, and the Sabres will put it on the boards. Riley will throw it back down deep into the Sabres zone. Sabres will group and start skating, but Truzinski will able to hold the zone. Riley in the corner. The Sabres will push it up, and they'll walk into the Elk zone. Bassett will get a hold of it and gets taken down in neutral and gets whacked like 3 different times, and finally a penalty is called on Shakopee. The Elks will go on the power play. Oh, they're thinking about putting Bassett in the box too, but it was just the one kid who hacked at him, so I think it's just going to be a power play. Elks will go on the power play with 3:27 left in the third period. A 4-minute power play. It's a double minor on Shakopee. And so Elks will have 4 minutes to do something the rest of the game. Unless they score twice real quickly. Skyberg gets it up on the point, down for Bratzel. Bratzel back up for Skyberg. Skyberg across for Bassett. Bassett tries to slide it through. It gets Shakopee is able to come away with it on a breakaway. Skyberg trying to defend. Quick shot and a beautiful pad save by Sherritt to save a breakaway. It'll come off of the near boards for White. White will try to throw it up. And Bratzel will pick it up at center ice and give it up for Westgard. Westgard back for Bratzel. Bratzel across for Rotz. Rotz with a quick shot, and it gets deflected up into the netting. .311 left in the power play. Alcott in to take the face-off. It will come to Helm. Helm back for Rotz. Rotz over to Hughes. Hughes back for Rotz. Rotz walks it down. Centers for Stoltz. Stoltz not able to get all of it. And Helm in the corner will bring it up for Rotz. Rotz tries to come over for Hughes. Will get intercepted, but Hughes is able to hold on to it and walks it back down into the Shakopee zone, Sabre zone. Hughes in the corner with it. Brings it up for Helm. Helm back down for Hughes. Hughes walking along the boards. Hughes back up for Helm. Helm across for Rotz. Rotz back up for Hughes. Hughes can't quite hold on to the pass, and it'll come back out into neutral. Rotz will put it off the boards. and it'll go trade ways like twice, and Rots will bring it back for Hughes. Hughes up for Alcott. Alcott up for Stoltz. Stoltz will walk through, not quite able to keep control, and it'll go all the way down. Well, Stoltz's hit will land him in the box, and so will the other kid who went back for retaliation. I think they are maybe coincidental penalties. I am not sure. They are. It's still a 5-on-4. Still 2-minute power play for the Elks. Quick shot by the Sabres. Glove save by Sherritt, and we'll bring the faceoff back to where it was. 1:20 left in the game, and 1:53 left on the power play. It'll come back into the corner for Skyberg. Sabres with hard pressure. Skyberg gets dumped, and Thomas will put it up for Trzynski. It gets intercepted, and the Sabres will walk through neutral. Thomas up. Oh, Trzynski will hit the ice really hard after tripping us over his own feet. And it'll come back. Skyberg gains control in the Elks zone. Thomas all the way through neutral and will ice it. And the faceoff will come down on the far board in the Elks zone. 45 seconds left in the game. Brotzel takes the faceoff. Sabres win it back. Quick shot and blocked by Bankson. Hit in the corner. Gets centered out front for Sabres. Quick shot and blocked by Westgard. White will get control and push it out front for Westgard. Westgard will get a hold of it, push it out front, and Brotzel will get the hat trick! With 23 seconds left, Brotzel will get the hat trick. Brotzel with a great hat trick, and the Elks now lead 6-0 with 23 seconds left in the game. And Shakopee is starting to play very, very chippy. And it gets pushed back down deep into the Shakopee zone for icing on the Elks. And it'll, with 10 seconds left in the game, it'll come back into the Elks zone. And the game is over. With 10 seconds left, the game is called because people were starting to running time and people were starting to get chippy. So the Elks will win 6-0, and that'll bring them into their second round tomorrow. And they'll play at 10:15 back here at the Maple Grove Community Center. Thanks for watching, everybody. I thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, AJ. I just saw that. And we shall see you tomorrow. Bye now.